We're talking about the beginning of humanity, the human vessel. This is taken from the Illuminati book, the book titled Illuminati Hidden Agenda. This is Illuminated Knowledge. We're up to chapter 7. Where did humans come from? We already started the chapter. We discussed the Lyrians from Avion, Lyra. We spoke on that. Now we're talking about the human seeding. Let's pick up where we left off. You can find a link in the bio for this information completely free. Source Hypnotherapy Healing, and it is under the tab book when you get there. This planet that humans were seeded on was called Tiamat, and there are other names for this planet. Tiamat's environment was perfect for new life. There was a layer between the surface of Tiamat and its ozone layer. This layer was called the firmament. The firmament was like a thick layer of mist, and this firmament layer helps with seeding and developing life on a planet. The seeding took place on a continent named Pangaea. Many people say that Tiamat is the same planet as Nibiru, Planet X, or the 12th planet. That is disinformation to help give credit to the Anunnaki for the creation of the human race. Let's pause there. We're going to get into the Anunnaki, who they were, and I understand that many have this impression of who the Anunnaki are. So we're going to speak on that. So bear that in mind. When I say the word Anunnaki, it may not mean the same as you. We may have a different interpretation of that word Anunnaki. Tiamat, let's get back into it. Tiamat was in the star system named Sol. Yes, Tiamat was in our solar system. Tiamat's orbit was between Mars and Jupiter. After a major event, Tiamat was destroyed. More about that event later. This major event that happened on Tiamat caused major changes on Earth. This major event happened approximately 300 million years ago. Yes, that is a streamlined explanation of where humans come from. From what I understand, there was a mix of about 10 or 11 different evolved DNA genomes from our galaxy to make humans. There was also a mix of what we would call animal DNA, but I prefer not to elaborate on that because it can be misconstrued into Darwinism, and that is the last thing I want to do because humans did not evolve from animals. That is a disinformation campaign by the cabal, or at this point, I can call them the Draconians. The Draconians want humanity to believe that we are inferior to them. This way, the human race is easier to control and manipulate. The Draconian plan was to create a history and then create other versions of the history and call it a conspiracy. Pause there so we can see that the plan, once the Draconians came and started to take control, they needed to erase, adjust, change the history that had been placed. The true history. So they needed to replace it. And then anyone who would refer back to the true history would be considered a conspiracy theorist. They would be ostracized. They would have to create a world that would police, the people would police themselves. That way, the small can control the many. If the many can police themselves for the small, which are the elites, the draconians, the controllers, then they can sit back. They can implement their indoctrination, and the people themselves police each other. Let's get back into it. Then if a group starts to make headway in finding the truth, that group is infiltrated by the three-letter agency, and a disinformation campaign is launched. Let's pause here. Now, we're talking about current groups, current three-letter agencies, but we can see how this is their strategy. It's all rinse and repeat with them. They've been doing this for a very long time. They know the strategy of how to control a large group of people, how to control a whole race, how to make them fall under their dominion, how to manipulate them. Let's get back into it. This can be by taking a real picture or video of a UFO and flooding the internet with altered versions of that picture of the UFO to discredit the original picture. Through the millions of years that the draconians have been taking control over societies, they have perfected this strategy. So let's pause there. I mentioned something there very important. Somebody could take a picture of a UFO. They can take a video that sheds light to the existence of extraterrestrials. But then these three-letter agencies, they have special groups that will go out and they will flood the internet. They will manipulate the original video to show that, oh no, this is a fake video, because they'll doctor it up in a way where it proves that it's fake. They need to keep the people blind. And this is what they do to discredit any true information. And in fact, many families have been visited by these individuals, and these groups will tell them, oh no, we were having a military exercise. What you saw is high-tech, top-secret technology. Discredit them. So even the families themselves will say, oh no, it was a false alarm. Let's finish this paragraph. It is a part of their brainwashing and how they infiltrate society to divide it and control it. We are a high power and are very powerful when our minds are unlocked. It is time to take back control of humanity. We see that human history is not what they have told us, and this is because the draconians would lose complete control over Earth if we were to become aware of all this information. This information is starting to leak out, and they are not able to keep this up much longer. All right, my star seeds, much love. You know it's go time, and we're at the end. We need to continue to focus on manifesting a higher reality. Let's help awaken whoever it is that we can, if it makes sense. Of course, we're not going to awaken everybody, but we need to take some type of action. We have been taking more of a fifth density spiritual approach, but it is time to actually take some physical action. And maybe I've said before, our job is not to awaken everybody. It isn't meant for everybody. But we're at the end here. It may be time that we may want to drop little hints here and there to friends and family about the awakening, about the atrocities. And we know what we're talking about. All right. Much love, my star seed.